Alright, here we go. Hi everybody. I heard from a couple of you that you don't quite understand our periods and frequency sheet, this one right here. I wanted to do a couple examples for you just to help you figure it out. So on your notes I gave you this here pyramid up here. I also mentioned to you that wavelength, which is represented by lambda, can also be substituted in for t, which is period, okay? So when we're looking for our period, we can just cover up wavelength and use that as the way to find our equation that we're looking for, okay? And if we're not given a velocity, we can just substitute 1 in for the velocity, okay? On your worksheet, it gives you these two equations down here, F being frequency and T being your period, okay? So you take a look at these and you just substitute in what you need to. So if we look at our first problem, number 1, it says a string vibrates at a frequency of 20 hertz. What is its period? So we have our frequency given to us, which is 20 hertz. And we're looking for our period. Okay. If we look down here, we're looking for t. So we're going to be using this equation. Notice that if we cover up that, we'll see that since we're not given a velocity, we can just substitute 1 in for that and just put in our 20 hertz. It's the same equation, okay? 1 over f. Okay? So we're going to plug that in. T equals 1 over 20 hertz. Plug that into a calculator, so I'm going to use my phone here. So 1 divided by 20 equals 0.05, 0.05. And since we were looking for a period, notice period, our units is seconds, so 0.05 seconds is our period, and that is the answer for the first problem, okay? Let's see. Let's take one and look for the frequency for another one. So let's do number 3 here. So I'm going to erase here. I had to come up with a whiteboard here, so it was kind of a little bit of a challenge on that. Sorry if it looks a little grungy still, but it's better than nothing. So we're going to do number 3. So for number 3, it says a swing has a period of 10 seconds, and then what is its frequency? Okay, so we have a period given to us, which is 10 seconds, and it wants to know our frequency. We don't have a velocity, so again we can take this up here and substitute a 1 in for it, and we're looking for frequency. So if we cover that up, it's 1 over our period. So since we're not given a wavelength, we substitute t in here. So it's simply, 1 over our period. So it's the same as this equation down here. As you can see, F equals 1 over T. F equals 1 over T. So F equals 1 over 10 seconds. We plug that into our equation. 1 divided by 10, and we get 0.1 hertz, because that's what our units is for frequency, which is hertz. Okay? So that's how we find frequency. So we found both period and we found frequency. Sorry about that, everybody. A little bit of technical difficulties. I'm back now. But I was saying, for velocity is going to be hard to find if it's not given to you right away. So when we're dealing with our sheet right here, this one, I wouldn't worry too much about finding velocity because it won't ask you to, and it won't ask you to find the wavelength in meters either. So we're just concentrating on period and frequency right now. Let's go to another one. Let's see. We want to look at, I would say, number 5 might give some people some trouble. So let's look at number 5. Number 5 states you want to describe the harmonic motion of a swing. You find out that it takes 2 seconds for the swing to complete 1 cycle. What is the swing's period and frequency? Okay, so it gives us that the swing takes, so 1 whole swing takes 2 seconds. Okay. If we look at our definition of period and frequency at the top, it says that the period is the time it takes to move 1 cycle. So it takes to move through 1 whole cycle. Whereas the frequency is the term for how many cycles can occur in 1 second. Okay? So for us, the period, it takes 1 swing 2 seconds, okay? Which means 1 swing is like 1 entire cycle, okay? It takes the swing 2 seconds to go through a full cycle, okay? So this means that our period, the time it takes for us to do 1 swing, is 2 seconds. Okay, so that is our period, 2 seconds. Okay, and then it also wants us to figure out our frequency. Frequency is just how many times we go through a cycle in 1 second. But if you think about it, if we go through 1 cycle in 2 seconds, then how many cycles do we go through in 1 second? You could probably say that's divided by 2. So half of that, which is 1. But if that's having trouble coming up with it, you can use our equation down here. So frequency is 1 divided by our period. So 1 divided by 2 is half. So what's 1 over 2 in a decimal? So we If you want to, use your calculator. So 1 divided by 2 is 0.5, or half. And that is in hertz. That's saying that we get through 0.5 of a swing, or half of a swing, in 1 second. Okay? And this is the answer for number 3 for the frequency part, and 2 seconds is the answer for our period. Okay? I know, it's weird. It's weird. Let's do one more. Let us do, let's do number 6. So I'm going to switch to pink here for a little bit. Put it right here, 6. Number 6 says, an oscillator makes 4 vibrations in 1 second. What is its period and frequency? Okay, so when we say vibrations, it means basically 4 cycles have gone by in 1 second. So we want to know what its period is and what's the frequency. Okay, so first off, remember, think about each of what they are. So a period is the time it takes to move through one single cycle, whereas a frequency is how many cycles go by in 1 second. Okay, so if we look at our whole situation, we have 4 cycles that happen in 1 second. Based on that, we can say that since it's already 4 cycles have gone by in 1 second, that's definitely not the period, because we've gone through more than 1 cycle in 1 second. So that's not our period. So if it's not our period, if we think about what our frequency is, it's how many cycles goes by in 1 second, which we've already gone through 1 second. So here, 4 in 1 second means that this here, this is our frequency. Okay, so this, we can already say F equals 4 hertz. Okay, so now all we have to do to find our period is we just need to take a look at our equation. So T is the one we're looking for. So we don't have a velocity, so 1 is here, and we have our frequency of 4 hertz, so it's T equals 1 over our frequency, so 1 over F, or 1 over 4. Okay? So 1 divided by 4 is 0.25. That means it takes 0.25 seconds for 1 cycle to happen. In other words, a quarter of a second in order for us to go through 1 vibration in this question. Okay? So for this one, for the rest of them, you kind of need to understand and reread every single time, if for like 7 through 9, which one of these is your frequency and which one of these is your period. Okay, period is the amount of time it takes for 1 cycle to happen, whereas the frequency is how many cycles goes through in 1 second. Okay? I hope that helps clear stuff up. If not, feel free to drop by. With this setup that I have, I can do live teaching every day, so feel free to drop on by anytime during my office hours and ask me if you'd like some help, okay? Because I can do this live for you so that you can follow along, okay? Anyway, with that, I'll take my leave. If you have any questions, please let me know. I miss you guys. It's been a long time since I talked to you all. I hope you're all doing great. Try not to stress out about this too much. If you're still not getting it, that's perfectly fine. Let me know and we can drill this stuff over if we need to. And I can reteach if need be. Okay? Anyway, hopefully this helps. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.